Hey everyone, we have an important update video. This is regarding a video we did probably a week and a half ago. If you didn't watch that video, we'll link it up above. But it's been a popular story just going around the country. And the last we left off that video, it was about a camper that was murdered. The police had no suspects. The suspect was still out in the loose. However, that suspect has been arrested and we have an update for you.
So this story is coming from npr.org and it's from November 1st, 2024. Montana camper offered his killer a beer and it held suspect's DNA, sheriff says. Now, first of all, we want to mention when this first happened, when his girlfriend found him, they thought it was a bear attack because of the severity of the wounds, but then they realized that was not the case. When the police arrived, they realized there was no evidence to make this a bear attack. They clearly saw that it was a homicide.
Now, just a little bit of a backstory. When we did the video a week and a half ago, one of the issues that the police were having was there was no cell records because there's no cell signal in that area, no cameras, and they didn't really have much to work with, so they were asking the public for their help. Now, the accused killer is believed to have removed a bunch of items from the crime scene, from the campsite, including the axe used against the victim, which was Dustin Kearsum.
One critical piece of evidence that the killer did leave behind, and we'll get into in a little bit why it was even part of this story, is that he missed taking a beer can, and we'll explain how that came about. But using the DNA from the can, the Montana Crime Lab was able to identify the killer, and his name was Darren Christopher Abbey. He confessed to the crime. He's being held in Butte on a charge of deliberate homicide as well as 2 counts of tampering with evidence, and he has been denied bond, which is a good thing.
So Mr. Abbey has a extensive criminal history. He actually did prison time, and this is in other articles I have read. And that's one of the reasons why his DNA was in the system, and when it was picked up, identified on that beer can, they knew who to go after. Now, the county sheriff, Dan Springer, he said the following: "There does not appear to be any connection between our victim and our suspect. This appears to be a heinous crime committed by an individual who had no regard for the life of Dustin Kearsum."
So how the story actually broke down. So Kearsum was camping. He actually was there setting up camp. His girlfriend was due to meet him after work on Friday. So he had everything set up. The camp included, it says, a wall tent complete with wood stove, beds, lamps, and multiple other items. His girlfriend had to work on Friday, so he planned to leave the campsite to bring her back that night. He did not show up, so she came, unfortunately, the next morning with a friend of hers, and they found his body. What's really, really sad, and this is just such a horrible story, the killer showed up at this campsite thinking he was going to stay where Kearsum was.
This is according to the suspect's confession.
Right. Quote, he stated that Dustin welcomed him to the campsite and offered him a beer. At some point, this individual struck Dustin Kearsum with a piece of solid wood, stabbed him in the neck with a screwdriver, and ultimately hit him with the axe. And this is then when he took the items, and Izzy will let you know what he left the campsite with. Fortunately, he left a critical piece of evidence.
So according to Abbey, in his confession, he took a number of items from the campsite, including an East Wing camp axe, a Remington shotgun, a Ruger Blackhawk revolver, and an Orange Yeti brand cooler. So I know the last video we talked about, people were talking about firearms, and there was a back and forth in it, and this person had firearms, but at the same time, unfortunately, his friendliness, the trust in a stranger probably cost him his life. And that is so unfortunate to say and so sad, especially campers, RVers, that people do this because of the community. Mm-hmm. And it's really unfortunate that this happened.
It is. And I know even in the last 10 years, when I was younger, I used to help people, right? Good Samaritan. It gets to the point now, and I want you to put in the comments below and let us know your thoughts on this. How do you feel that you're almost afraid to help people now? And this is the perfect example, because most people, yes, are wonderful. But unfortunately, there are some that are not.
We've met a lot of great people through YouTube. And you think you know what I'm going to say. We get a lot of messages and emails and people, and I'm sure they're all of great intention. We love to used to stay for our house. We love to meet you. These are people we never met before, and we get it. We understand people are super giving. That's not for me. And I hate to say, like, if you send us a message and we don't know you, like, we're not going to show up to your house. And I don't want to sound like a jerk, but I just seen too much in my life that it's just not going to happen. Like, we have to really know you. Now, we've met quite a few people that I could say we vetted and we know, but we're not going to show up to somebody's house halfway across the country because you invited us. And it's just what it is. So if you send us one of those emails or a message, it's not that we're ignoring you. It's just, that's just not what we're going to do.
We want your feedback. Let us know. Have you heard of this story if you didn't see our prior video? Does it make you think twice before helping someone? I mean, it's just a horrible place. And look, I know things like this have always gone on, right? But we probably didn't hear about them as much because of social media and news and things like that. But it still makes you think twice.
Inviting somebody in your camper, right? It's sad. It really is sad.
And it's horrible for, again, if you watch our prior video, he has 2 kids, you know, his girlfriend now. It's really heartbreaking. So we want your feedback in this, guys. To the left of us, if you like videos like this, we'll put our RV news playlist. We'll put our RV campground reviews playlist. And for myself and MJ, it's a journey of a lifetime. And we'll see you on the road.